Hello everyone. Welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and keep watching more details. Teddi Mellencamp reveals medical oversight amid cancer battle. The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills fans have been following Teddi Mellencamp's health journey over the past few years. Recently, the star opened up about an oversight early on that she feels greatly impacted her later health. Using her story, Teddi also shared how she feels people should act when dealing with their own health struggles. Teddi is the daughter of musician John Mellencamp. For many, she is best known for appearing on 3 seasons of The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, from 2017 to 2020. Back in 2022, Teddi shared that she had been diagnosed with stage 2 melanoma, a type of skin cancer. Later, in 2025, in addition to having brain tumors removed, she shared her melanoma had progressed to stage 4. Teddi is the daughter of musician John Mellencamp. For many, she is best known for appearing on 3 seasons of The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, from 2017 to 2020. Back in 2022, Teddi shared that she had been diagnosed with stage 2 melanoma, a type of skin cancer. Later, in 2025, in addition to having brain tumors removed, she shared her melanoma had progressed to stage 4. Speaking with Glamour, Teddi recently talked about an oversight made by medical professionals during the early stages of monitoring her condition. She noted this happened in spite of her making regular health visits. As Teddi shared, "When you go to a doctor, you just assume that's it. I'm doing what I'm supposed to do." Looking back, she felt it was important to do her research amid the doctor visits. She shared, "At first, I didn't even really do the research on melanoma because I didn't want to know all of the bad things." Teddi then touched on how medical professionals overlook symptoms before her cancer reached stage 4. She shared, "There's a difference between self-diagnosing yourself and being an advocate for your own health. I never really thought about it because I was like, I go to a doctor every 3 months. Why wouldn't they get me checked?" Teddi's highest stage melanoma was a stage 1 lesion found in her shoulder. As her previous diagnoses hadn't gone past stage 1, doctors initially felt full-body scans weren't necessary. Looking back, however, she feels like this kept doctors from realizing her melanoma was spreading. Teddi shared, "When I finally followed up on it, they were like, we didn't do the scans because you didn't have anything above a stage 1 on your body. But look what happened." The Real Housewives star wanted to use her story to help advocate for people taking charge in their own health care journeys. She shared, "It's really being an advocate for yourself and your health if you're not feeling good." As fans know, Teddi has also used social media to share her story with fans. In addition to sharing her health journey, she also touched on the emotional turmoil it has had on her. In a recent post where she shared her hair regrowing, Teddi shared, "Cancer comes with so many emotions: anger, sadness, loneliness. And while I feel grateful that immunotherapy is saving my life, I feel like I live in a fog and I can't help but beat myself up on all of the ways I am falling short. I just desperately want to be back to my usual self." Have you been following Teddi Mellencamp's story on social media? Make sure you come back for all the latest reality TV and celebrity news. The afternoon sun hung low over Los Angeles, casting a honey gold shimmer across Teddi Mellencamp's living room floor. She sat at her kitchen island, a mug of cooling peppermint tea between her hands. It had been an exhausting week, one spent trying to unravel a mistake she never imagined she'd be forced to confront. The room around her hummed with an unnatural stillness, as though her walls were listening, waiting for her to speak her truth. For the first time in months, the former reality star felt more frightened than hopeful. It started with a lingering ache, a quiet whisper beneath her skin that seemed too small, too insignificant to bring up at first. After all, Teddi had always been an active woman. She trained, she ran long distances, and occasional pain simply came with the territory. Her doctors had assured her it was normal. "Nothing to worry about," they'd said with brief smiles and casual notes. But something would not let her rest. She had been told she was stable months earlier. Her regular scans showed no new concerns, and her physician assured her the results were within normal expectations. Teddi had walked out of the appointment relieved. She remembered humming soft encouragement to herself in the parking lot, convincing her mind that life was unfolding exactly as it should. Then came the late-night phone call. The hospital's unfamiliar number flashed across her screen. She picked up, surprised, only to be met with an uneasy tremor in the nurse's voice. Her most recent biopsy from weeks ago, yes, the one she'd been told was clear, had been misfiled. A sample review had been delayed because of an internal oversight. The results were not, in fact, normal. Something had been missed. A silence echoed so loudly that even the walls seemed to exhale. The nurse's words blurred into fragments. Malignant, follow-up immediately, new team reviewing. Teddi felt the air leave her lungs. Every thought dissolved. She could only hear the sound of her heartbeat, thudding like a warning drum. Over the next 24 hours, her life accelerated into a blur of phone calls, paperwork, and apologies. Committees, specialists, technicians, each voice tempered with regret. They used gentle words to conceal harsh truths, careful phrases to soften the stark reality that a system she trusted had failed her. A medical oversight, that was their phrase. The words hit her like cold glass. She'd always believed that vigilance kept her ahead, that she did everything right. She went to every appointment, honored every recommendation. She shared her journey publicly in the hope of helping others. She followed the rules. Yet somehow, a simple clerical mistake had slipped through the cracks, shaping a path she'd never prepared for. The next morning, she sat with her husband, Edwin, at the edge of their bed. He looked as though he hadn't slept, his eyes stormy with concern. Teddi took his hand, squeezing it to steady herself. "They almost missed it," she said. He flinched, as though the words themselves could wound. She explained what the nurse revealed, how the file had been misrouted, how no one noticed until it was too late. Edwin pressed his palms together, silently counting breaths to keep his composure. He wanted to break something, wanted to shout at the invisible voices who had erred, but Teddi placed a hand on his arm. "We move forward," she whispered. "That's all we can do." She wasn't angry the way people expected. Beneath her shock lived something quieter, a feeling shaped not by fury, but by resolve. She'd faced fear before, in the public eye and in silence, and she would face this too. The question was no longer about preventing the storm. It was about navigating the flood. The following week was a labyrinth of new doctors and examinations. Each conversation felt like peeling back another layer of truth. The new oncologist laid out the plan: further testing, targeted treatment, and a thorough investigation into how the oversight occurred. His tone was calm, but Teddi sensed urgency beneath every syllable.